Hey, what's up everybody? It is about 6:05 on this Sunday morning, and I can tell you it's been quite a past, I guess you could say, 24 hours so far. Orange, orange juice. Best thing to wake up with in the morning. But, like I said, it's been kind of 24 hours. I've been kind of, typing up my mom's typed up online version of her paper that she's writing down for her online class, as well as we got my 8-year-old nephew almost literally at the last minute to watch for the night, which is okay. But anyway, I'm here with some news for anybody that doesn't know about this, and in case you do, maybe you've told people already, and maybe you haven't. But now, as I announced here on my channel a couple months ago, basically 2 months ago, at the end of February, the beginning of March, I announced that SatAM, Sonic the Hedgehog SatAM, as a matter of fact, let me get the DVD to show you. That this show, right here, was now being streamed on Netflix. Basically, if you had a Netflix account, you were able to see this show in its entirety, in order, if you will. Or I guess if you want to put it in order. Anyway, even though that was some good news for us longtime fans of the show, knowing now that even if we still wanted to watch it through DVD, especially let's say we're on the road and we got a portable DVD player, or we got a DVD player in the car that we have, still it was good news because because a lot of us nowadays, we also have one of these. We have the iPod, or mainly if you want internet on the go, you have the Wi-Fi, you have your iPhone, your Android, or whatever. But I'm here to deliver some more good news. In case you don't know about this, and maybe you do, if you go to any of the, I guess you could say, Hasbro related message boards out there, or if you go to TuneZone forums or something like that, I don't even think TuneZone forums knows about this. I don't think they even know. I mean, here's what I'm talking about. Recently, some of the Hub shows, some of the animated shows from the Hub, like Transformers Prime, Pound Puppies, My Little Pony, Friendship and Magic, G.I. Joe Renegades, have all been recently streaming on Netflix. Now, this is basically what they're streaming with these shows, Transformers Prime, Renegades, My Little Pony, and Pound Puppies, is basically the up to date lineup of the episodes that they have available to be streaming. Because every now and then they got to continuously update it. They got to say they got new episodes added in, but right now, the update basically is the fact that the lineup that they have, mostly from the first season and maybe a little bit of the second season, is on Netflix streaming. Now, you say to yourself, well, what does this got to do with Sonic? I mean, you might also say, well, that's good, that sounds great, but what does this got to do with Sonic? Well, I'll tell you what it's got to do with Sonic. I'll tell you it by asking you a question. How many of you have always dreamed of having one place to watch SatAM, to watch G.I. Joe Generation 1, Transformers Generation 1, and Gem? What would you say if I told you very soon you could have the opportunity of watching Sonic the Hedgehog SatAM, and if you're a fan of Underground, and if you're a fan of Adventures, watching those shows, those three shows, alongside Generation 1 of Transformers, G.I. Joe Generation 1, and GEM without having to switch out DVDs out of your DVD player or your Blu-ray player? What would you say if I told you that possibility was coming? Well, according to Netflix's website, the possibility is going to become a reality. Now, they haven't exactly set the date yet, but according to the according to what it says, when I clicked on the disc to put it into my DVD queue, to be delivered in the future, according to it, it has the availability thing at the bottom, right? After it tells you the description, has the availability thing at the bottom. It says DVD, and then it says streaming coming soon. So basically what it's telling me right then and there is that we, sooner or later, are going to be able to enjoy, with the help of, let's say, our Xboxes, or our PS3s, or our Wiis, or our portable devices, or let's say our TiVos, or our Blu-ray players, or whatever, or even our Rucos, if you will, that we're going to be able to enjoy the Sonic the Hedgehog cartoons, Sat AM, Adventures, and Underground, alongside Transformers Generation 1, G.I. Joe Generation 1, and GEM. That's right, we'll be able to enjoy them alongside, again, like I said, without having to without having to switch DVDs, or have what is known as one of those multi-DVD or Blu-ray players. We won't have to worry about that no more. Now, I know some of you are thinking, I know some of you are going to think, well, Brian, that does sound like good news. But we'll always prefer the physical disc. And that's good. That's great. You can enjoy the physical disc. That's great if you want to go that direction. But what I'm saying is this: if you have a Netflix account, is great news, because now I don't know exactly when it's going to happen. They have not yet confirmed the date. But when I see something that says coming soon, it basically tells me it's going to be very soon. Probably sooner than we think. We just don't have a confirmation yet on the day it will be available for streaming. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that date available right now, but hopefully down the line we will. Now how does this benefit us, if you will? Well, we know that with the exception of the Wii, all the other devices that stream Netflix, like the Blu-rays, players, the 360s, the PS3s, the Rucos maybe, and even the TiVos, we know that they all have this, I'm guessing, protected seal on them. Like I said, with the exception of the Wii, they all have this protected seal within them. So how does this benefit us? Well, let's say maybe we have a DVD recorder or even a Blu-ray recorder. We can end up recording the best, the best, or in our cases, our favorite episodes of those 80s cartoons, along, those Generation 1 80s cartoons, along with the Sonic ones. And just think, having, like I mentioned in the previous video, in my overview, which is a response to Zeren Izarak, just think having a DVD like this, well, maybe not a rewritable one, but a regular one, but imagine having a DVD like this with the best episodes of the shows I just mentioned. Now, like I said, unless you have a Wii and you have Netflix on there, you won't be able to do that, but you still might be able to. You still might be able to sit back with your 360, well, not be able to. Well, I shouldn't really say might. I should say you'll be able to sit back with your 360, your PS3, or your portable device or whatever, and you'll be able to watch the best. And hell, if you want to, you could take your your camera or your camcorder, if you will, and you could do what is known as maybe you could do maybe a live reactions. Maybe you could show, what you're watching. Maybe take something like this, or like I showed you in the channel update. If you have one of these, or if you have a digital one, take something like that and film live reactions for people to see. Like, let's say you want to do the top 10 best episodes out of all the series. You can do an episode out of SatAM, a few out of SatAM, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Gem, Underground Adventures, however you want to look at it, you could do it. And that would still be beneficial. It'd be just as good as, like I said, trying to record them if you have the Wii. But again, that's just my thought on how good of a news this is. Now, how good is it as well? Well, we have this, just like I mentioned, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this, with SatAM, you have this whole new generation that was always wondering, what's the big deal about Sonic SatAM? Why does everybody talk about it? Why is it so popular? Well, now those young generation of fans who are more into the Sonic because of the games and maybe Sonic X, now they can see it for themselves. And just like with Transformers, yeah, they could see Transformers and G.I. Joe at night, if you will, Monday through Thursday, and at night, depending on where you live, at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock or whatever, or 10 o'clock, and they can end up watching them and see why they were so good. But now they have that opportunity to watch them at any time they want when that opportunity finally arrives. Now again, I'm not sure exactly when the date's going to occur of the release, but I can say that when it happens, it's going to be a great day, because I am going to add the entire series of Transformers, G.I. Joe, and Gem into my instant queue, so that when I want to sit back right here on my futon, just sit back, relax, without a care in the world, just take one of those relaxing breather days and just watch those shows, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch a few Transformers, I'm going to watch a few Gems, G.I. Joes, Sonic SatAMs, and maybe some Underground, and who knows. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, well, Brian, there's one more Hasbro show that's a Generation 1, that has the G1 title in front of it. What's going on with that? Well, apparently because the newer version, the newest incarnation, Friendship and Magic, is doing so well and it's got such a cult following, right now, as far as I know, Rhino, I don't know if that's still existing or anything, but I looked on Netflix, and for some odd reason, the Rhino DVDs of My Little Pony Generation 1 are still available. Go figure, as well as the movie. So I think they still have to go through situations with that and see what happens. But, eventually I think Shout Factory is going to get their hands on that as well. And that will probably help lead into the Generation 1 of as they like to call it for short, MLP, coming to Netflix streaming. But that might be a while from now. But the good news, though, besides that, is Transformers Generation 1, G.I. Joe Generation 1, Gem, they're all coming to Netflix streaming very soon. Like I said, the date has not been confirmed. It's kind of like a to-be-announced deal. So the date has yet to be confirmed, but I can say this. Mark it when you find out the date, or you mark it down as to when it's going to happen. Or if you continuously check up on your account, continue doing that and see exactly what happens. You might be shocked at what you see in the new releases one day. This is what people have been talking about. This, honestly, despite how you feel about Netflix, This is what they were talking about last year. Sorry about that. But this is what they were talking about last year. This is the opportunity that they've been saying was going to happen, that they're going to get more shows and movies to be streamed instantly onto your television through their instant streaming service without having to worry if you're going to have to pick it up or anything. Now again, like I said, the only disadvantage unless you have a Wii is you won't be able to record them. You'll have to rent the DVDs or even buy the DVDs or Blu-rays just to do that. But anyway, I thought I'd deliver that bit of good news here on this Sunday morning here in April, the second to last Sunday of this month. And that's about it. Comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll talk to you all later.